and baby steps. And there's lots of birds out here, plus trees, plus blue sky, plus tree pollen, and apparently grass pollen is now on the list. It's the first day I saw grasses on the allergen list for the year. Bear and Woof Woof are inside in the living room, and Bo is in the hallway because, like I said, she wanted her own room. And yes, I still did not put the medicine on my face, but I did put some coconut oil on. And you hear the birds? Someone is always kind enough to bring me some food for Shabbat on Friday, and they usually come around 2 p.m. And I thought maybe I could come out here and actually say hello to them for once. And Sunday is my mother's yard site. It's also, all right, hold on a second. I'm going to mute you for a second. Okay, I muted you so I could talk to the neighbor. Anyway, um, so right now I have 0 viewers, and that's fine because maybe someone will watch the replay. Hi, Alex. I bet you're one of the people that will watch the replay. All right, so what did I do? I woke up around noon. I was up till 5 in the morning again. Now, 2 nights ago when I didn't sleep, is that because I rode the exercise bike at 10 at night? Last night I had to take a second dose of decongestant, and then I was up till 5 in the morning, and I woke up around, I don't know what time I woke up the first time, but then I woke up at noon, and I was tired, so I did not go to the last half hour of Qigong class. I watched Meryl Davis making moon cookies with coconut oil on Instagram. And then I watched a short video on Paul Green's YouTube channel about like jumping into cold water and how that can be healthy. And he also has something premiering at 2 o'clock also. And yes, look, I'm sitting outside listening to the birds. It's windy out here, and the risk of being out here when it's windy is actually allergies from the high tree pollen and grass pollen. But look, I'm being brave and I'm outside. How many times have I gone outside in the last 400 and what's the number? I didn't check, but it's over 400 days. Very few. So it's like if you didn't know where I was, like if I went like this and you wouldn't see the roof, you hear all the birds. All right, so what's for lunch? I had dolmas that were delivered from Thrive Market. Those are like rice wrapped in grape leaves. And I had some of the Wandering Bear cold brew coffee, the chocolate flavor that's made with coconut oil. And I had a turkey stick. And I probably still need more protein, but like I said, someone always brings me food for Shabbat on Friday afternoons, and I thought maybe I could like sit out here and actually like say hello to them in person. All these birds. And I see the trees over the roof. One of them looks kind of like the leaves are kind of dead. Anyway, all right, so what's for lunch? Since everyone likes to tell me what's for lunch, what's for dinner. Last night I didn't eat dinner. I didn't want to force myself to eat dinner. Like the night before, I think I made myself drink some Gatorade, but I didn't make myself eat a RX bar. I had Stacy's pita chips. I had the naked flavor and I had the cinnamon sugar flavor, but I never did eat a turkey stick or an RX bar. And yes, I try to source the turkey without antibiotics because it's illegal to use hormones in the poultry supply in the US. So when they label it no hormones, they're just basically lying to you because they're not allowed to use them anyway. So, I was saying that Sunday is Erev Shavuot, the Jewish holiday. Like the Omer that you count for 49 days from the second night of Passover. Tonight is the 48th day of the Omer, and tomorrow night is 49 days, which is 7 weeks, which is my mother's yahrzeit. And usually it's not close to the day she died, but this year it's the day before. And the day she died years later is also the day I became homeless fighting my disability case. So this year, on the night people stay up and study all night and they eat dairy on Shavuot, that's Sunday night. No, Saturday night to Sunday night. And we'll see if I'm brave enough to actually go anywhere for the holiday. But Monday is not only tax day this year, it's also the date my mother died and the date I became homeless fighting my disability case. One year I didn't remember that part of it till 6 at night and asked the psychiatrist if there was something wrong with me, and she said no. But it was neither one of those days were Mondays and things read as the day of the week, but with May 17th it reads as the date also, but it's worse when it's a Tuesday. So it parallels 1982 and the year between 2015 and 2016. Monday's also my father's mother's yahrzeit, the best we can determine, because I don't know if she died before or after sunset, and that's how you determine dates on the Hebrew lunar calendar. And so we'll see if I have a complete meltdown on Monday. I actually, considering that I keep saying March, considering May 10th is the day Barbara died, the date, I actually didn't do that badly this year. I made a little bit of progress. I actually made a little bit of progress, and I did not have a complete meltdown. So that's probably progress. So yes, to the two viewers, look, I'm outside and I'm not wearing a mask. Baby steps. And I'm going to see if the person who comes by at 2 o'clock with some food, I'm going to say hello to them. Oh, I was saying Paul Green's going on at 2 o'clock. What was that about? His Freedom Alchemy channel, I'm not quite sure what he's referring to in terms of the word freedom, whether it's freedom, I don't know, but he's on the Hallmark Channel. He's an actor. He's in Hallmark Channel movies, and he sings well. And he has gospel music usually at 2 o'clock or 2 o'clock for 2 hours on Sunday, and his mother stops in. And even if I don't agree with all of his politics, or maybe politics, religion, other beliefs, there's still a value in going to his streams, and so that's why I share them. It doesn't mean I agree with everything he says. And he raises money for charity, and if I have stars on my Facebook account, depending on what charity it is that week, depends on whether I send the stars that week or keep them for another week. I usually give him when he has like the children's hospital charities. So if anyone who's watching this wants to download HAPS, I need 2 more people for that last challenge to either download the app through my invite or follow me as their first person they subscribe to. It's free. You get 100 coins. You need 150 to send any gifts to someone. But if you check your email every day, or if you check in once a day, or they often say, oh, you haven't gone live. If you go live for 3 minutes once a week, they'll give you 1,000 coins, and you can send them to your favorite broadcaster. And Woof Woof's inside, so he can't say send them to me. Yeah, the other day Woof Woof went on after his bedtime, sleeping, live streaming, no audio, got on the trending board until the phone died. Me, I'm on there with audio, but I had a picture on there and was not on the trending board where I used to always be. So I thought, yesterday I turned on my camera. I thought maybe it's the camera. I turned on my camera and had Woof Woof on my broadcast and still never made the trending list. So is Woof Woof just cuter than I am, or does it have to do with the fact that his account is newer than I am? But the contest of, oh, I can get 4 new people before you get 3. Well, neither one of us got any, but he got on the trending list for a long time, which seems highly unfair. But I'm choosing my battles. So it's 1:29, and what am I supposed to be doing? Oh yeah, like I thought, am I supposed to be at Qigong if I'm tired, or is it okay that I watched Meryl Davis make cookies? So I did eat, I did have some coffee, and I did not make it to the coffee shop for my birthday drink yet, but baby steps, like outside, no mask, still have OCD, so still repeating myself. Okay, and I do have a slight headache, so we'll see if I get an allergic reaction being out here without a mask for the first time in like over a year. And no, I don't completely trust what the CDC said, because there still are breakthrough cases and there still are people that have gotten severe cases of COVID and have died. It may not be many, it may be 0.5% that, or 0.01%, depending on who you believe, but I don't want to be one of those cases. Sanjay Gupta last night, he said, look, his uncle in India got COVID on a Tuesday and died on a Thursday. And his father said, look, that could have been me. If we were reversed and I were in India without access to a vaccine, I could have been the one that died. And like Sanjay is traumatized by this. And if it were reversed, his uncle might not have died. And so there's people in the US that have access to the vaccine that don't want it right now, and it could save their life. But I was on a call yesterday where I did say, well, if you're requiring vaccines, what about someone who can't get a vaccine because they're immune compromised or they had an allergic reaction to a previous vaccine? Are you not going to let them be a part of your program if they apply? And they said that they would take that into account if someone had a medical reason like that. Not a, I don't believe in vaccines, I'm not getting vaccinated, but it was a Jewish organization and I was on a call and I just said, like, what's your policy like? And they did say that if someone has an actual medical reason to not get a vaccine, they're not necessarily going to exclude them for participating in their program, which is good. And I don't necessarily need to challenge every person out there. Again, I'm supposed to choose my battles and I can't even take care of myself. And the fact that I'm sitting outside is something. Getting some sun, and that call I was on yesterday with the UCLA integrative medical students, the speaker was really good, and she said, look, you need to open your blinds and get some sunlight in the morning, and you need to like stop going to bed at 5 in the morning. She didn't say that directly to me, but I already know it's not just how many hours sleep at the time of day, and going to bed at 5 in the morning is not healthy in terms of your circadian rhythm. But I can't fix it in one day. Like if I went to bed at 5 in the morning and woke up at noon, I'm not going to go to bed at 10 o'clock tonight, which should be my bedtime in the spring or summer, spring or fall according to Chinese medicine. That's why it's Woof Woof, Bear, and Bo's bedtime, and they're good. They go to bed at their bedtime. And the flowers out here are pretty too. And anyway, so there's 2 people, and if anyone would like to comment, they can comment on the other apps, or they can download apps. I need 2 more people. Yes, 2 more people. And see, it's not so scary out here. But like I said, I don't completely trust what the CDC said. When the CDC last year told people not to wear masks, I didn't listen to them. I was in Fred Meyer the last time I was at a store last year. Like, I went to a store on February 23rd this year, but before that, the last time was March 7th. I walked into Fred Meyer with my migraine glasses and a dust mask while having a panic attack, thinking I might not be able to go out again, which was the case, but had basically a complete meltdown, and people probably thought this girl is weird. And it was after that that everyone had to wear masks. That was the first time I ever wore a mask into a store. And when they said, oh, you don't need masks, there was one person on CNN from Asia and said, wear a mask. I listened to him. I wore a surgical mask starting then. And now I have like a respirator and KN95, and they did say the KN95s are not as tight as N95, so they're not as protective, but they're like close. And anyway, so if someone comes to bring me food today, you know what? I'm going to put the mask on if they come within 6 feet of me, but I'm going to try and be a person that sits outside and says hello, thank you for bringing me food every week for almost every week for over a year. I didn't even know there's 2 different people that come every other week. Like, and so like one time, and I have trouble recognizing faces. So like if you put the people in front of me and said, which one brought you the food? There's one woman that has like a headscarf that I might recognize, but otherwise I don't know. But it would be nice for me to like give them a card. And if I'm not up to making them a card, at least I can sit out here and say thank you. Hello to the third person joining. So like I said, Paul Green is going to be on his Freedom Alchemist channel at 2 with a premiere of something, but it's on his YouTube channel. You can watch the replay. Like, I don't know what the topic is, because the cold water was the one that was on at 1. Like jumping into cold water outside, and yeah, hot and cold, like where you end your shower with cold water, or like you alternate hot and cold, is good for your circulation, and my circulation is still bad. Like my ankles are still swollen, and I need to like take a diuretic and put on my compression stockings. And I did try to stand up every half hour and like do my standing exercises, or at least stand up for 5 minutes every half hour. I didn't do it yesterday every half hour, but I did do it some. Like maybe 35 of the stand on your toes exercises instead of like one set of 10. And like where you stand up and try to sit down, and there's a lot of traffic noise. Anyway, so from Podfest Global, like I had one person, like that last challenge on HAPS, I had 1 out of 10, and now I have 8. So thank you to whoever added the HAPS app or added me. I saw 2 people subscribe to Woof Woof. Well, Woof Woof saw that too, and he followed them back. So if I get my 10, then maybe Woof Woof can try and get 10. But right now, you could say, well, don't you have something you should be doing at 1:36 in the afternoon? Well, maybe sitting here and talking to you and being outside is something. And I do notice that like later in the day is when the sun is directly in my face if I sit here, and that's not necessarily like it comes here, like I see it starting to come here. It's like half covering the steps. So that sitting here when the sun's directly in my face isn't necessarily good, but I have sat out here like on Israeli Independence Day. Yes, I know about the situation in Israel, and trolls are not tolerated in my stream. People with opinions are allowed to comment, but trolls will get blocked. And I think the original Israeli Independence Day was May 14th. I have to verify that. But this year it was in April, and I did order some Israeli food and sit outside, and I wasn't hungry. I only ate a few bites of it, but I took a picture, and I don't know if I posted it yet on my social media, but I did sit outside and eat some of my lunch, which is one of the only days in over a year that I even went outside. So, I mean, that FOMO, no, not FOMO, FOGO, fear of going out again, is real. They mentioned that on that concert to raise awareness for the vaccine, where they had all those people in the arena in California. But I'm still going to wear a mask. But maybe I'll have enough courage to actually go somewhere. Like, no, I'm not going up to the top of a mount, like one of the mountains in Portland for a Shavuot event. Like, no, that would be like not good for. That's when I get cardiac symptoms. Unless someone wants to go with me, like if my friend wants to go and drive there, maybe. But otherwise, and she's vaccinated because I took her with me because she helps me with in-home services. So, and she actually got me to go over to her house. The one place I went somewhere without like a medical reason, I did go over to her house in the afternoon outside on a Sunday, bribed with Girl Scout cookies. I ate 2 cookies. I saw her friend and her friend's kids, and I didn't do any gardening work, but I showed up there and played Pokemon Go and walked a few blocks. So anyway, there's 3 people on here listening to me talk about how I am outside not wearing a mask with sunglasses, with blue sky and birds and trees and grass pollen and tree pollen and it's 1:30. What's on right now? General Hospital. And what happened yesterday? I got the feed before it expired, but I didn't start it until midnight, and it said that you have to subscribe to this channel. So I think because I didn't start, I paused it, and I paused it. Well, I lost the feed. So now I didn't see General Hospital from 2 weeks ago. I have to go on and watch it on. I can probably pull it up on a site that I know. I missed it twice this week from 2 weeks ago. And then I thought it was preempted one of those days. No, I didn't get the feed in time and I lost it because it expires at midnight 2 weeks later. On abc.com and Comcast. So I still don't know why that one tree looks like not green. It looks kind of dead, like brownish leaves. Anyway, I don't want to show you the neighbors' apartments. That's why I'm not showing you the trees. Maybe I can take a picture. But, all right, so it's 1:40 and I've probably been out here for like 40 minutes, which is something. And what? And like they said, those Yankees that all got COVID, like only one of them had symptoms. But the question they don't know, if you have if you get COVID and get long haul symptoms and then get a vaccine, it's making some people feel better. But does that mean if you have been vaccinated and then get COVID, you won't get long haul COVID? They don't know that. Does it work in reverse? They don't know that yet. And I'm not taking that chance. So I'm going to be like still taking precautions. But um, some people think they lifted the mask mandate too late, and some people think they lifted it too soon. And kind of like if everyone has access to the vaccine and you don't choose to get it, and then you go around people and you get COVID and you die, it's kind of like your choice. And I kind of agree with that, except for what about people that are immune compromised that can't get the vaccine, or that are allergic to vaccines and can't get the vaccine, and they're not COVID deniers, they just, or if they get it and they're immune compromised, it might not build antibodies properly. And so and children under 12 can't get the vaccine. And even though there's less cases, like they said, 100 children have died, that's still 100 children that died. And you don't want it to be like your child. And so some of these people that are being completely irresponsible, on the one hand, yeah, they're only putting themselves at risk, but they're also putting children under 12 at risk, and they're putting people that can't get vaccinated at risk. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. And they did say in Oregon that they are agreeing in Oregon and Washington to lift the mask mandates in most places. But if the numbers start going up again, they may put those back in place. But you still have to wear a mask in a hospital, or nursing home, or an airport, or a plane or train. They extended that plane and train one till September, I believe it's 13th. Like they just extended it, so it expires like September 13th. Like so. Anyway, if anyone's enjoying listening to the birds and listening to me ramble and the traffic noise, and it's like, well, you walked up and played Pokemon Go and came home and saw the protest started on May 25th and never went out again to even get the mail for 2 weeks. Yeah, well, maybe I could actually see if I could walk somewhere later today. But right now, like, the phone's at 38%, and baby steps. I don't have to do everything today, or I'll get overwhelmed and panic and won't do anything. And I have panic attacks every day. And one of the things that doctor was talking about yesterday is that going to bed at 5 o'clock in the morning and having my sleep cycle backwards might be the reason that I'm having panic attacks every day. So let's see if I can switch that back, if that will help. And I'm hearing air conditioning. And all right. And what is that bad smell? It smells like garbage. All right. So, all right. Since I'm on here for 24 minutes talking to myself, there's 3 viewers, but I'm talking to myself basically. And why am I smelling garbage? Where is that smell coming from? Was it a truck that just went by? And they did say, in terms of the situation in Israel, that like the last time they had, like before, those rockets could not go as far as Tel Aviv, and now they can. So, and my little niece has never heard sirens like that before, because the last time was when my sister was pregnant, I think, like 7 years ago. So anyway, and they didn't want her to be scared. But anyway, and no, she wasn't in Tel Aviv, but yes, they heard the sirens. And you don't necessarily know where those rockets are going to land. So, and a little 10-year-old girl did, I know there's people that have died on both sides. And one thing that I've learned about this situation is that, number one, they often fire rockets. Like, they did tell people in one of those neighborhoods in Gaza, you have 5 minutes to leave. They may have only given them a 5-minute warning, but they said you have 5 minutes to leave. Like, the Israeli Defense Force did tell them you need to leave. And sometimes they fire rockets from hospitals and schools. And when they get fired back on, the reason sometimes people die in hospitals and schools is because that's where they're firing the rockets from. And also, one of the things that started this recent issue is people that were in East Jerusalem that have been living rent-free for years with this case in court for all these years, and the Supreme Court of Israel was about to evict them, that started this fighting. But the part about they've been living there without paying rent, and this has been in court for years, and they may have, like, why is that not being covered, not even by CNN? And yes, I'll call that out. If I see that, I will call that out if I see that it wasn't even mentioned on CNN. So I don't know all the details, but anyway, hold on another second. I'm going to mute you for a second. Well, I guess he's not going to answer me. All right. So, which is better, listening to CNN for an hour, or me talking about nothing? Well, I'm not talking about nothing, but I am talking to no one who's talking back at the moment, although someone may comment later. So, how long have I been on here? 28 minutes? What's my phone at? 32%? And yes, I did eat something. And I did come out here. I'm getting sunshine. I see the flowers. We'll see if I can play Pokemon Go. I talk to you more than I talk to my neighbors. Anyway, I do try to talk to them. All but the one who doesn't talk to anybody. Maybe he has an anxiety disorder. I don't know. I talked to his sister the day he moved in, like many years ago, and have never talked to him since because he won't talk to anybody. But then again, if I'm having a panic attack and don't want to talk to anybody, I don't want people talking to me then either. But like, he never talks to anybody. And it's warm enough that somebody has that shade in their, like, you know, the thing that reflects the sun. And I shouldn't look right at that because the glare can give me a migraine. See, where's the sun? I think it's coming over this direction. So it's probably good that I'm outside earlier in the day, because they say you need that for your cortisol levels to reset properly. Like, if you want to reset your cortisol and melatonin, like, you need to, like, go outside in the morning and get some sun, or open your blinds. Yep, I see the sun is starting to come over the roof. Like, I see a glare on the building from, like, a reflection from a car. So when 10,000 people watch this replay, you can all comment and tell me what you ate for lunch. And you can all say, yay, I see you're sitting outside without a mask on. I did eat sitting outside where I took it off for a few minutes, but usually I would sit here with a mask. And if you have a mask without a serial number, does that mean it's fake? Also, if you light one of these with a lighter, they should melt, not burn. If they burn, they're fake. And that fake PPE is putting people's lives at risk. So whoever is making fake PPE and fake hand sanitizers can burn in hell. Although, yes, that's not very nice of me to say, but they should have some karma for doing that. Because people that are trying to do the right thing and wear PPE, and if they're wearing fake PPE, are not going to be protected. But this has a stamp, it has a number, it says KN95. See? And if I have problems with my allergies, I think I only need a surgical mask, like a dust mask. All right. How do I get lots of people to come in my stream and say hi and send gifts like Lisa does? Maybe come on here for 5 years like she does? 6 years? All right. What time is it? Now it says poor. Where did my reception go? Now it says fair. Maybe he didn't hear me. Maybe that's why he didn't respond. Or maybe he thought I was talking to you and not to him. All right, so who thinks I'll have enough courage to actually put on my shoes and go down the steps and get the mail today? Or take something to the trash and the recycling and the compost and walk to the park and play Pokemon Go and go to the store? How about if we don't do all those things in one day? All right, I'm going to hang up now. Thanks for watching. Bye.